Welcome to Breaking Ties, a new you after divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support for when the divorce process has finished. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics related to post-divorce. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of life after divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hi, and welcome to our third day of the Breaking Ties interview series. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And the interview series is where we talk with other professionals who help those getting through divorce or after the divorce process is finished. And this week we've got the fun stuff. This one is really nice. I'm here with Kristina Hughes. And Kristina is a luxury travel designer with Travel A Latte. And we've been getting some great information this week. So if you haven't listened to day one or day two, go back, listen to those episodes because Kristina shared some great tips and some great information on traveling solo or with kids. And, it really can help you all along the way. All right, Kristina, you're back for day number 3. How do we feel the week is going?
Great. Thanks.
That's good. The kids are doing all right?
Yes. Yep. They are staying busy.
There we go. Yeah. Better busy than in the things it's when they get quiet, you have to go hunt them down. It's like,
it's
true. Oh, goodness. So I was looking at today's questions and these are actually really good. We're kind of looking at traveling solo again. So kind of just by ourselves. And, when we travel after divorce, it might drum up some feelings of anxiety and traveling alone. And, the number one question that comes to my mind and other people's mind is it safe to travel alone? Is it safe to take a tour group? Is it safe to visit certain parts of the world, if you will? So I think we'll start today with, what are your thoughts on traveling alone and keeping safety in mind?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think that, again, it's a leap of faith when you're going to travel and you're doing something that you maybe have not. So if you've never traveled alone, it's a different feeling. I will say I took a trip myself for work for the first time. It's kind of work and pleasure for a 5-day trip. And it was a different experience, just being at the airport and things. I'm like, okay, it's just me. Like, I'll figure this out. But it was good. It was really good. Just, unplug and to kind of know that confidence of like, I know what to do. Like, I can figure this out and I can do it. And of course you can use a travel advisor to help you and to be that partner that can kind of help plan as well as help assist with any issues along the way. So I obviously recommend that, but I think that making sure that you're going to, a place that is safe is important, especially by yourself. Do the research, make sure that where you're going is safe. You don't want to just randomly pick an Airbnb on the south side of Chicago and just be like, yeah, that's where I'm going to go. It's cheap. I'm going to stay there. Right. Like you're like, you have to know the areas. The good thing about Europe travel, which is what I specialize in, is that Europe is a very safe place to go. So there may be pickpocketing and things that, we can prepare for, but as far as safety, you're in good hands in Europe. So I always say the story about when I lived in Germany for a year and a half, and the walk, I didn't have a car. So, I would take the train downtown. I'd have dinner with friends and I would hop on the train to come home. And the 5-minute walk from the train to my home was through a dark park with no street lamps or anything. And I walked through a dark park by myself, completely fine, because I'm like, there's nobody here that's going to hurt me, So, you just have to know though, you have to know where you're going and not put yourself into positions where, you're going to be in an unsafe position. So, using your resources, knowing your gut feeling when you are traveling and just making sure, that you're
Yeah,
you're making wise choices. So
exactly. And so a lot of it you're going to know a little bit ahead of time, as far as your destination and being able to research all that, which is great. But that was some really good tips there. Now, it also may have been a while since we've traveled on a trip. So when it comes to, say, packing by yourself, is there a little bit different, strategy you might use as far as traveling, as far as plane versus checked in, or maybe can you get everything in one of those little travel, packet luggage pieces that you can take on the plane?
yeah, so when I traveled myself, it was fantastic because I'm used to traveling with two kids and carrying all their stuff. And actually, at one point, I took the flight from the U.S. to Germany, back to Germany. It was two connections with two kids, and there were 45-minute connections in
Oh, wow.
between, which I did not realize at the time. I've learned a lot before becoming a travel advisor. But we were literally, I'm holding a 3-year-old and three bags, and having the 5-year-old. We're all running to get to the next plane, luckily making it in time. And we did that twice. So, I'm
Wow.
used to traveling with kids, and even, traveling like that was wild. But, traveling by yourself, yes, you can pack a backpack to have kind of your main things that you want to, activities and things like that, and then you can just kind of have a carry-on with you, depending how long you're going. You can just have a carry-on as well, and you don't have to pay for the check bag. You can just hop on the plane on and off. You don't have to wait for your bag. So I think that it's definitely a little bit easier packing when you're traveling solo.
Exactly. Now, actually, one of the follow-up questions to that is probably very simple, but I'm always concerned, like, what if I forget something? And, I'm sure you've got, a tip or two, you know, that you can share as far as like, okay, what if you actually did forget something?
Have the main things, have your wallet or your passport and your phone, have those things. As long as you got those, I think you're good. Charger. So yes, there are some must have things just to kind of, give you that security. I always think of that as I'm leaving. I'm like, okay, I have the main things. Anything else you can get while you're there. So even in Europe, there are stores in Europe, believe it or not. People go to the drugstore and buy toothpaste, right? Um, so you have options to get the things that you don't need or that you've forgotten. So. And I will say too, I have some experience of family coming to visit in Germany, and their luggage was lost, and everything in their luggage wasn't there for 3 to 4 days, and luckily they packed some essentials in their carry-on, which I always recommend. And then we hopped into a Primark store, got some good priced nice looking clothes to kind of last, or did some laundry, or whatever we could to help them get by. And they were like, we don't even need our bags at this point. Like, what did we even pack in there? Like, we can get by. Like, it's so funny when you go to think about what you're packing. Sometimes I feel like we overpack. Like, oh, this outfit that I haven't worn in 10 years, I need that for this trip. Like, this is the perfect time to wear it. So I just think sometimes we overthink it, but.
Right. Yeah. And that's a good point, though, too, is I think keeping things simple. You don't always
Yeah.
have to complicate stuff. You can't plan for everything. But the reality is, if you plan for most of it, then, like you said, you can pick up these little odds and ends wherever you happen to be at.
Yeah.
Oh, so wow, that was good stuff. And that's going to wrap up day 3 of 5 here. Once again, if you haven't listened to the other episodes, please go back and check them out. They have different questions, and Kristina offers some fabulous advice and tips. And we would like to thank you for joining us today on this episode of Breaking Ties, the interview series. Should you have any questions for Kristina, her contact information is going to be in the description. You can reach out to her, give her a call, shoot her an email. Remember, divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.